to the Dublin Pirates. For the pre-match talking, put your hands together for the living legend that is Supermac. Now, welcome along again to the Dublin Pirates. Newcastle United, 2 games played, unbeaten against the Manchester City team, unbeaten as well. We'll come to that at the end of the talk. But how have Newcastle played in those first 2 games?
I think the back 4 has played absolutely tremendously. They've been looking very, very good indeed. And the midfield, not quite as good, but nevertheless they've been doing all right. And I'm afraid that it's up front that we're struggling. And the responsibility of the forwards is to get your side a goal up, get them 2-0 up, take the heat and the pressure off of your defence. But at the moment, that's not happening. With Almiron and St Maximin, that they don't get shots in, they don't get crosses in at all. In the 2 games that we played so far in the Premiership, there hasn't been crosses or shots from either of those. Yet they have so much of the ball from Newcastle's possession. And so, that Wilson, he's quite isolated. And it's then down to midfield players who feel that they have to get forward and get into crossing positions. Joe Linton, for example, that he got a really good cross in for Wilson's goal here in the first game. And so it's all very well having all of that possession, but let's be positive for heaven's sake. And when you've got a fella like Wilson in the box, you've got to get supply into him, because you know that he's going to just grab a couple of inches extra and duck in front of defenders, and when the ball comes in, he will stick it away for you. But the ball's got to come in the first place, and I'm afraid that it isn't. And well, Man City this afternoon, you have got to attack them and give yourself a chance of getting a goal up against them. Otherwise, you're being against the wind for the rest of the match.
New goalkeeper in, we talked about it at the start of the season, whether it was going to be Dubravka or Nick Pope. Nick Pope's come in, played 2 games, been impressed with him?
Very much so, yes. I have no doubts nor fears about him whatsoever. I think it was a shame for Dubravka, but I've mentioned this before, but if you go back to that international he played where 5 goals went in and they were pretty much all his fault, he was almost chucking them in. And he's never been the same since. It's absolutely crushed his confidence, and he's had to work really hard to try and get back, but he's not got back to the level that he was at, and he's certainly not at the level that Pope is showing. And with the World Cup coming up a bit later this year, if I were Southgate, I would seriously look at Nick Pope for his number 1 keeper.
Sven Botman, we chased him in January, we didn't get him, but we got him across the line in the summer. It's a very important signing. How impressed were you with him last week, having to step in, so quickly into that centre-half position?
Very impressed, yes. I have no doubts about that lad at all. And he's a bit of a colossus, and along with Byrne, by heavens, and so yeah, I'm very happy with what I've seen with the back 4, and I don't know whether Target is going to be fit or not today, but if he isn't, the job that Byrne did at left back, absolutely fine for me. He played a lot at left back with Brighton before he joined us, and so he's well versed there. And I think the back four has looked absolutely tremendous. And by heavens, they'll be put to the test today, that's for sure.
Just less than 2 weeks left in the transfer window. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see come in?
It's got to be somebody up front, most importantly of all. There is another issue I think that's coming along as well, but if the manager continues just to play the one man right up the field, then what you're looking for is when Wilson is injured that somebody comes in, and that's where maybe you look for somebody who's younger, who's prepared to sit on the touchline and come on as a substitute. But I think that Bruno has got to have a better player alongside of him in the middle. 1-0 to Leeds. Oh, Chelsea just don't look the same, do they? They really don't. Yeah, so somebody in the middle of the park to partner Bruno. I think they're the two things that we need most of all.
Before we look at Man City, we've got a cup game this week. Tranmere Rovers away. I think some of the people in here probably remember the Zenith Data Systems Cup. 6-6, first televised Sky game, and then the 7-6 penalty shootout. A few of us were there. Yeah, but we've got Tranmere away. How important is a cup run to Newcastle United this season?
Absolutely crucial. It really is. I have been so peed off over the last 14 years where managers just haven't been bothered with putting out the best side they can to ensure you get into the next round, and so we've been quite feeble in both cup competitions. I hope it changes. Starting with Tranmere, let's put a really strong side out. Okay, make 2 or 3 changes by all means, but work from what's in the squad already, and don't start experimenting. Let's have a cup run. Let's see if we can do our very best to actually win a trophy. It's been a very, very long time. Almost 70 years, isn't it?
Yeah. Malcolm does a podcast once a week, Any UFC Matters, with Gibbo on YouTube, and I know what his prediction is for this game, but some of you won't. So Malcolm, Newcastle versus Manchester City, somebody's O has got to go today. Tell us what your prediction is.
Well, I'm just hoping that Newcastle, that they talk to St Maximin and Almiron, and they put the onus on them to get crosses into the box, to get shots in, and so I'm hoping to see a lot more positivity up front, and I'm hopeful that there's going to be goals. But Man City right now are a team out of this world. The football they are playing is absolutely fabulous. And so they're going to score goals. I hope that Newcastle can match them. And so I'm going to be really confident in Newcastle, and I'm going to say 2-2.
It's gone for the old Desmond Tutu. If Malcolm's right, come and congratulate him and celebrate with him at 7 o'clock. We will be back in here for a post-match analysis. But for now, put your hands together for Supermac, Malcolm MacDonald.